protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
The President and Homeland Security Secretary said today they had 100% confidence in you, but there are some members of Congress calling on you to resign.
I appreciate the Secretary's comments, and we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
You plan to stay on, absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
For all the talk out there about this race, Joe has made it clear that he's all in. Thank you. Sacrifice that you all made. Thank you for being here.
The U.S. Secret Service has denied diverting resources away from protecting former President Donald Trump at a campaign rally where he was the target of an assassination attempt, in order to protect First Lady Jill Biden. Susan Crabtree of Real Clear Politics reported on social media that unnamed sources told her resources were diverted away from Trump to protect the First Lady, who was also campaigning in Pennsylvania on Saturday. This is the problem that my secret sources have cited. Secret Service's resources were diverted to Jill Biden's event and away from Trump's because they followed agency protocol applying to Trump as a former president, according to two sources within the Secret Service community, she wrote on X, formerly Twitter. There were also many supplemental agents from different field officers, not Trump's regular detail, providing security at the rally because Trump's regular detail has been overworked, some working 7 days straight, and only 2 counter snipers. Who made the decision to divert the resources to Jill Biden's event? Anthony Guglielmi, chief of communications for the Secret Service, responded to Crabtree's post, saying it was false. We did not divert resources from FPOTUS. Trump and protection models don't work that way, Guglielmi wrote. As far as field office teams, these are the candidate nominee operations teams that are added during election years for the heavy travel tempo. The Secret Service has been contacted for further comment via email. Anytime a protectee is harmed, there's something that has to change, said Tim McCarthy, a former Secret Service. An ex-Secret Service agent who got shot while shielding former President Ronald Reagan during the assassination attempt in 1981 addressed the shooting at Donald Trump's rally over the weekend. In an interview with Chicago outlet WGN-TV on Saturday, retired Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy said that the shooting's handling by Trump's security team was a failure, plain and simple. Anytime a protectee is harmed, there's something that has to change, McCarthy said. You have to critically look at what happened, why it happened, and how it can be prevented in the future. McCarthy, who retired from the Secret Service in 1993, also compared the assassination attempt on Trump to Reagan's, saying that it was a failure too, for the Secret Service because Reagan was injured. According to video footage from the Trump rally shooting, several shots rang off minutes into his speech, prompting him to duck as Secret Service agents came to shield him before taking him off the stage. Trump sustained an injury to his right ear as a result of the attack, which occurred in Butler, Pennsylvania. One rally attendee was killed, and 2 others were critically injured. The gunman, identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, was killed by Secret Service personnel. McCarthy also spoke about the Trump rally shooting in an interview with New York Magazine's Intelligencer published on Sunday and noted that the agents trying to keep Trump safe probably would have liked President Trump to have been a little bit more cooperative. He reached out to reassure his followers, the country, and the world that he was okay, so that worked out, he said, adding, the obvious question is going to be, it doesn't take a security expert to ask why that building wasn't covered better than it was. Despite the assassination attempt, the Secret Service said at a news conference Sunday that it is not changing security plans for the Republican National Convention, which begins Monday in Milwaukee. However, law enforcement officials told CBS News that security changes are being made. Trump is expected to receive the Republican Party's formal nomination at the convention. Mary Trump said Sunday the assassination attempt on her uncle Donald Trump was a terrible, terrible thing that happened. On an episode of her podcast, Mary Trump, an outspoken critic of her uncle, said it had been a surreal 24 hours since Saturday's shooting at the former president's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. I did want to start with the very critically important disparity between responses in the wake of what was a horrific tragedy in Pennsylvania, she said. Because let's remember, not only was this an assassination attempt, one person actually lost his life, and 2 others are critically injured. She criticized those who had pushed inflammatory messages casting blame in the aftermath of the attack. Law enforcement officers have not yet shared information on the motives of the shooter, who was a registered Republican. Specifically, she called out Sen. J.D. Vance R. Ohio, a top contender to join Trump's ticket, and extremist rep. Vance blamed the Biden campaign's rhetoric for the attack. Green took it a step further, claiming the Democratic Party tried to murder Trump. Mary Trump contrasted those types of responses with President Joe Biden's Sunday night address from the Oval Office, in which he condemned the attack and called on Americans to unify to lower the temperature in our politics. She noted that other high-ranking Democrats had offered similarly measured reactions. I think it's fair to point that out, right? Because that's part of our problem right now, she said of the disparate responses. In response to a listener's question about what to expect from Donald Trump going forward, Mary Trump said, I think that he's pretty predictable, but I think that we need to wait to see what the Republican National Convention is going to be like. Let's keep our eyes peeled and our ears open, because that's going to tell us a lot, she said. In my view, this is a choice and a potential opportunity, and we'll just have to see. The FBI has identified the shooter, who was fatally shot by Secret Service agents at the scene, as Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20, of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania.
And welcome to this evening's slightly different episode of The Nerd Avengers. It has been a surreal 24 hours, and for me personally, the surreality was increased by the fact that I had a dental emergency. So, forgive me if I'm a little slow on the uptake. Also, it's just me and you. After what happened, I obviously have things to say, but I want more information, So I wanted to, I was more interested in hearing what you had to say and what questions you wanted to ask. And, but I did want to start with the very critically important disparity between responses in the wake of what was a horrific tragedy in Pennsylvania. Because let's remember, not only was this an assassination attempt, one person actually lost his life and 2 others are critically injured, although thankfully I've heard that they're stable. But still, it was just a terrible, terrible thing that happened. And, we can talk about the circumstances that allow for these kinds of events to occur. We can talk about political violence in America and those who perpetuate it, promote it, and traffic in it. But first, I want to play a couple of clips just so we can orient ourselves in the space of the reactions. And again, a couple of these reactions were within minutes or, very, very shortly after the event occurred, during which, by the way, we knew practically nothing. So I'm going to start with this still image that is sort of the launching off point for a lot of other reactions. So this is a traveling billboard on which somebody felt compelled to show the Democrats' attempted assassination and a picture of Donald hugging a flag with a target around his face, which I don't recommend you ever do to anybody.
Former President Donald Trump was heard repeatedly telling Secret Service agents to let me get my shoes, as they protected him on the ground in the immediate aftermath of the attempt on his life at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, on Saturday. The presumptive GOP presidential nominee explained the comment, which prompted plenty of commentary and speculation on social media, inches an interview with the New York Post's Michael Goodwin. The agents hit me so hard that my shoes fell off, and my shoes are tight, Trump told Goodwin.
See something that said, take a look at what happened.
ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Clear.
Let's move. Let's move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. Shoe.
Watch out.
Trump wore a loose, large white bandage that covered his right ear during the interview that was conducted on Trump's private plane as he flew to Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention, according to the report. No pictures were allowed to be taken of the former president wearing the bandage, per Goodwin. Elsewhere in the interview, Trump said he's supposed to be dead. A lot of people say it's the most iconic photo they've ever seen, he added, of an image of him pumping his fist before being escorted away by agents. They're right, and I didn't die. Usually you have to die to have an iconic picture, he added. President Joe Biden spoke Sunday about the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, calling for unity and saying he'd spoken with his 2024 election opponent since the shooting. Biden made a short set of remarks from the White House after he was briefed on the investigation into the shooting. Standing by him were Vice President Kamala Harris, Attorney General Merrick Garland, and Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas. Donald Trump's 2024 campaign team used a photograph that was taken during the attempt on the former president's life to ask supporters for donations. The presumptive GOP presidential nominee site was directed to a page on the conservative fundraising platform when read on Monday morning. Fear not, a black and white image showing Trump pumping his fist into the air was captioned. I am Donald J. Trump. Fear not. I will always love you for supporting me. Unity. Peace. Make America great again, the message below read. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle issued a statement Monday morning that the agency is investigating the shooting and working on preventing similar incidents in the future. We understand the importance of the independent review announced by President Biden yesterday and will participate fully, Cheadle said. We will also work with the appropriate congressional committees on any oversight action. Cheadle added that she is confident in the security plan in place for the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this week, adding that the agency will adapt their operations as needed to ensure a safe environment. The agency director also noted they have enhanced Trump's security following his assassination attempt. In addition to the additional security enhancements we provided former President Trump's detail in June, we have also implemented changes to his security detail since Saturday to ensure his continued protection for the convention and the remainder of this campaign, Cheadle wrote. Far-right Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene Arga drew condemnation on Sunday for her divisive rhetoric following the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. President Joe Biden has called on people to lower the temperature in our politics, following Saturday's shooting at a Trump campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. We are in a battle between good and evil, she captioned an interview she gave to Real America's Voice in which she called the Democratic Party the party of violence and flat-out evil. The Democrats are the party of pedophiles, murdering the innocent unborn, violence, and bloody, meaningless, endless wars, she added in that post, above, on X. They want to lock up their political opponents and terrorize innocent Americans who would tell the truth about it. The Democrat Party is flat-out evil, and yesterday they tried to murder President Trump. Man killed at Trump rally, died a hero, Pennsylvania governor says. Corey Comparator, 50, was a firefighter and a father of 2 daughters, Pennsylvania governor Josh Shapiro said Sunday. He was from Sarver, Pennsylvania. Comparator died a hero when he dove on his family to protect them from the gunfire during the rally, his wife said, according to Shapiro. Corey was an avid supporter of the former president and was so excited to be there last night with him in the community, Shapiro said. Loving man, down to earth, family first kind of guy. Church-going man, said Craig Cirincione, who worked at the Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Company with Comparator. Loved his family. Do anything for anyone. I mean, volunteered here for years, Cirincione told ABC News. Cirincione said he wasn't surprised Comprador sacrificed himself to save his family, adding, "It wouldn't even surprise me for a complete stranger." 2 other people are now in stable condition after being critically wounded in the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, authorities said. Pennsylvania State Police identified the 2 injured victims as 57-year-old David Dutch from New Kensington and 74-year-old James Koppenhaver of Moon Township. "These victims and their families are certainly in our thoughts today," said Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Paris. The Pennsylvania State Police continue to work tirelessly alongside our federal, state and local partners as this investigation continues. Trump expressed condolences for the victims and their families in a post on Truth Social. "We pray for the recovery of those who were wounded, and hold in our hearts the memory of the citizen who was so horribly killed," he wrote Sunday. In a briefing Sunday, President Joe Biden extended his deepest condolences to Comprador's family. "He was a father. He was protecting his family from the bullets that were being fired, and he lost his life. God love him," Biden said.
I'm down. The snipers are on the roof. Get him, boy. Get him, snipe. Get him. They get him? Take care of Trump. Did Trump get hit? They're shooting. Oh my God. Down. Get down. I'm down. The snipers are on the roof. Get him, boy. Get him, snipe. Get him. They get him? Take care of Trump. Did Trump get hit? They're shooting.
I think they hit him, but the guy is dead. You can see the guy down. I think they hit him, but the guy is dead.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you for watching.